BRB. For me, that's like 3 minutes. That's it. Oh, I just remembered. It's Christmas Eve day. Oh my God. It'll be come and gone before you know it. Seems like it was just October, September. Talking about Halloween. Is it Halloween? It'll be Christmas and New Year's before you know it. Sure as shit. Here we are. Weather alert. Yeah. Should I look? I have to look off screen. Huh. Oh, probably flooding. Probably flooding. Wintry mix. Freezing rain. Snow and ice. Probably no accumulations. Because it is cold. Radar. Yeah. Wintry mix. Okay, does the game crash? All right. Bye, Carla. So that's what that looks like. It's a start. It's a start. Oh, I wanted to turn on the settler beacon, which I don't have. And it needs power. Let's see, normally I put that up here. Oh, what's up with that red? Almost looks like a neon light. This is my fast travel map, so this is where I show up when the crap hits the fan. I feel it gives me a good vantage point if I got people attacking from over there, or if they're coming up the road, or they're usually coming in from down that hill. Occasionally this area, but almost never from back here. Very rarely have I seen a raider over here. So anyway, I'll appear here. I don't want to get tangled up. Let's just put a real cheap power source here. And a settler beacon. And it's on. I see the green light. I just saw a settler down here. Well, we got one person doing food. You're assigned. Oh, I wonder if I've got a bunch of beds jammed in down in here. Let's get rid of a couple of these jammed in beds. How come? Yeah. What? Well, right now yeah, 19 is the number. And we'll leave that one right there for the cook. Yo, oh, you're assigned to food. 6 people. Somebody just showed up. And just turned the signal on and somebody just showed up. Food's up to 14. That means they got to put more food in the ground. Pay attention. Is that because he was in the way? That was only 7. Yeah, I'm looking for 20. We'll stop right there because I don't think it's going to rise no matter how much more food I put on the ground. Are you assigned? You look like the same dude. Yeah. 8 people? Where are they all at? Still walking here from somewhere across the Commonwealth? Let's sleep till light. See what gives. See what happens. See who we might see. Wow, 10, 6, 8, 9 maybe hours? I should get so much sleep in real life. Okay, we got people milling around. Dude, how the hell did this shit happen? We're assigning you. No, don't move. You move. I don't know where you live. I'm gonna move you to Starlight. You're trading with Starlight. Starlight is not on my list to move you to. So that tells me you already live here. Gotta be like Santa Claus and check the list twice. And since you're here, I'm commanding you to quickly work in the garden. That's just to keep you from leaving and get your cow to disappear before he shits in my parking lot. Why are you still assigned? Hey.
Okay.
Okay, he says, and he walks away. What I really want him to do is man the artillery. So it looks like there's room here to like expand this sideways. Or what I was thinking of doing is making another type of building next to it, but on a grid system that I make, and then I can connect them with a bridge, an overpass. Something that snaps to because I plan it out that way. I can do that. Oh. Hey, I did not assign you to that. I didn't. But you wanted it, you can have it. You look scary, girl. Scary. Yeah, so...
Crop's been growing pretty good lately.
Well, at least you sound nice. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. So this mod config. That'll override some of the game default behaviors, like people will automatically assign themselves to food when they show up. They will also automatically assign themselves to defense when they show up. I can say, no, these guys can cultivate much more than 6 food per person. they can cultivate 10, which is what I've got it set at. I just wanted to kick it up a notch. And 10's a nice round number. I got 10 fingers. It just, we're a base 10 culture. It's just, don't get rid of the road, just the debris. Oh, get rid of that trash. Get rid of the tire and those leaves. So where are they shooting at? I didn't even see what direction they were shooting in. I want the bullard here, but it won't. So let's give me the grass, and then it'll. Oh, you're gonna be like that, huh? So maybe. Yeah, I can't pick that up. So this bollard is destroyed. It won't let me repair. So I will scrap it. Okay. Unassigned. Oh no. I've already fully assigned my, why 18 food? It should be 10 and 10.
Sure.
So this should tell me how much food I got on the ground. I've got 24 worth of food on the ground. This should be easy for you guys. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So you got a 20% reduction in your workload. I gotta fix my supply line. Oh. Looks like I had a closed loop that I didn't need. Starlight was probably trading with 10 pines. I thought I had 4 people going in there. But, oh yeah, these guys are off the loop. These guys are off the loop. This is my shortest loop. I'd like to avoid 4 people because all those cows in here all the time. Doesn't really matter whatsoever other than that. If I did want the cows, the smartest way to set up a supply line is say, start the game with Sanctuary and tell them to supply this place. It'll take a long time for them to get there. Tell these people to come up here and supply Red Rocket. Tell Red Rocket to come way over here and supply, I don't know, one of these long ass places. And then tell them to go all the way across. See where I'm going with this. Lever the bridge. Well, remember the grid I showed you. I think I showed you and everybody else. I'll explain it for those that maybe you're new, or for YouTube video people. So this is a foundation square. I would take another foundation square and snap it to it. And then one to it, and one to it, and one to it, and one to it, and I would run it over somewhere around where I wanted my building. Leaving the last foundation square alone, I would then delete all the ones in the middle, so they're not connected to the building anymore. And then, under no circumstance, move that block, ever. Even after you've put down your footprint and you go, oh geez, I want it to be a little deeper. No, it's too late. Too late. If you move it deeper, you're going to move it off the grid, left, right, forwards, backwards a little bit, and it's not going to snap to. And you take that block and you just add another blocks around and you build a building. And now you're on the same grid as this. Nobody I talk to in my chat knows anything, well, almost nothing about Satisfactory, the factory building game. That game has a snap to grid. I forget, it's KBM only. So I don't know if it's the shift key. If you say you're going to place a foundation block down, you hit the shift key, it'll spin the block slightly and move it over slightly. It aligns it to the grid. And that's where you place it, if you want to be aligned with the grid. And you might as well. Unless you're building across the map 8 miles away. And you're never going to connect buildings from 8 miles away. Well, somebody might. It's a small map. I said 8 miles. I think the total size is 3 miles by 3 miles. I forgot. At one point I did the math on it. But, you know, was the data accurate? My calculations are only as accurate as the data that the game gave me. I think they were saying it was X amount of kilometers by X amount of kilometers. My first cold soda. Yeah, that's the grid. I tried to do that one. Well, I learned to do that for the reason that it sucks when you don't. I was built, because in Sanctuary, I build a lot of buildings close together. And I went to connect 2 of them together. They were at different heights and they were at different grid orientations. And yeah, I was able to hack some stuff in and I got it to work. But it just looked so janky. It was beginner stuff. Just push a button to eat. I'm catching up on some of your previous chats I missed. Well, that's interesting because most kids, well, I mean, your son's 34, so you know, he's he's an adult. He's not even a young adult anymore. He is a full-fledged adult. But kids, they want the new stuff. I have a feeling it would be a rare find to find kids that love old movies, love old songs. Once in a while, I bump into someone who loves music from the 60s and 70s. It's happened. And, I would assume same thing with video games. Store the junk and heal yourself. And I came here just in case Miss Roadrunner didn't see some of the building I was doing the other day. I think you did. But for the benefit of any others, I was talking about how beautiful some of these building materials are. And this is my example right here. Look at the brick. This is called painted brick. I think it's red brick. I'm not too sure. Well, let's find out what it's called. It's called brick. Large. Painted. Anyway, I have got nearly 20 of these of so many different varieties. I just touching on using them. And then this brick for wall. Again, there's like 20 of these or 15 of these. Some of them are smoother looking. There's several colors. And wait for it. My ugly electric wiring. Just some temporary stairs, because I hate putting stairs inside my building, as I keep saying. Here's one type of floor. And here's another. This is going to be a kitchen, a living room, and a dining room, bedroom all put together. For the fashion trade industry that's going on beneath me. This is some real beautiful building material. I don't remember what I used down here. A lot of this is just barn walls. Oh, so up there's some nice walls. I don't think I have stairs going up to the roof yet. But that's a really nice plank type thing going on up there. Much better than this. I'll probably swap this out. I don't know. This is supposed to be the community beds. These guys have it made. And they complain, oh, I'm hungry all the time. It's like, eat a potato. Come on. There's plenty of food here. This don't look right. See? That matters. Okay, yeah. Look at this brick. Isn't that beautiful? And I've got another one called Red Rocket Red. Oh my. Oh my. I gotta stop saying oh my. When I run out of words, you know. So there you go. There you go. I didn't think it was fair to build this in Sanctuary without showing my audience how I did it. And that's as high as you can go. And it's on the grid with this building. I connected a block here. I ran it over, left, right, got myself over here. So eventually, when I build this up higher, I can make some form of walkway. Well, there's a mistake with this building, and it's not a mistake, but I have to hide this. See how it's not in the ground? Remember I didn't want to change the height. I connected to the height over there. So it's an XYZ. You can't just change the Z. Your X, Y, and Z all have to be on the same grid. So when I brought it over here, this is what it did. And I tried to get a piece to go underneath it. I'll try again. Sometimes you get lucky. But when it's that close to the ground, usually you can't sink these things deep enough. Yeah, it's about as deep as these things like to go. And I'm okay with that because I'll just plant some shrubberies around that and some ferns, and I can make that go away. Here's another spot right here. The same thing happened. But I knew I could make it go away. There's serious ass defense up there. There's mobs that spawn right here. They just show up on the bank of this lake. They just show up here. Well, they've got that. And some of them show up a little further down. So they've got all that other stuff up there to deal with. That tree is not clipping, so I left it. There was a tree here that was clipping. I got rid of it. I hate clipping. I will do almost anything to avoid the clipping. If I see leaves sticking through the wall here, that tree's got to come down. There's a light bulb idea I was mentioning. So here's something right here. This is called a long pass-through. I've got electricity up on the roof, and I've run a couple conduits down the side, and there's a conduit right on the back of this conduit. This pass-through conduit will reach through the wall and connect. You used to have to put a conduit on the front of the window, a conduit in the window, a conduit on the outside of the window, and you had to loop the wire through the window, or you had to remove a piece. And there's some other parts where you can try to run conduit through the walls that are very janky and can be very difficult to work with. I found that was a beautiful thing. So what I want to do here is I want this flag to be lit like an airport, like a Christmas tree at night. So I put a bunch of lights in here. I started with the garbage can fire, but that doesn't light it up enough. And I tried another version over here. And this is what I meant about these lights are at the building limit. You making a liar out of me? All of a sudden the building limit's higher than it was? I had to put these down or I wasn't building in the green. Well, what gives? Look at all these blocks. These are all foundation blocks. Yeah, it snaps too, but I can't build it. I can't build it. But if I can get these lights a little bit closer to the flag, that probably wouldn't hurt. The center of this right there. I just chose these because they look like they were bright. I'll have to remember to come over here and look. So here's the Minuteman waving flags, and it's restored. It's in really nice shape. I love that. It's not a bent flag. Well, it is a little bent. Yeah, I wish it were straight. And I can see some rust on it, but that's okay. I mean, it's a new flag. This is flag for Sanctuary. Sanctuary. So three walls of turrets. I think it's another weak spot of mine. Some of my turrets don't reach this roadway because there's another spawn point. You see that building out there where my reticle is? That carport area, you can see like 4 or 5 turrets. There's a spawn point right in the woods right there. That leads up to Vault 111. And they come in between those buildings and they get into the street. So if those turrets don't get them, these will. Now, I learned something the other day. It was sad. It was a couple things going on. So I bump into this woman. I forget where I was. And she says, "Hey, you want to buy a Brahmin?" That's the best door I could find for this. I lost. My build menu is so, I'm going to say it's so fucked. It pisses me off. I don't have those statues. I used to have so many doors, security doors, sliding doors. Oh, so many doors. This is the best door I could put on a hardened building. Sad. But in time, I'll work with it. I'll dial it in. I'll get it fixed. So this is just a repeat. Let's see. This is not a repeat. This is a 4x4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I lied. Oh. Oh. I built this thing up to the first ceiling. Game crashed. I lost the whole build. There is a menu fixer. I've got a menu fixer. I told it to fix my menu. I don't know if it changed anything or not. It might be a different menu fixer. I don't know if it improved or made worse or had no effect. But yeah, I said fix the, I clicked on it. Yeah, fix the menu, please. Let's see. I don't know if I could recreate where that was. I think I can. I think I can. Let's see, it's in my miscellaneous. Dang, she says, yeah, I said something stronger than that. It's not the cheat terminal. It's not in the README thing here. It's not in the settlement markers. Oh, maybe it was in the mod config? Workshop framework? You guys were talking about that earlier? Was it tools? I don't remember where I was. Anyway, I was in one of these things, and I found fix menu, fix build menu or something. I wish I could remember for you. Well, you know, wherever it was, I tried it, and it whatever happened happened, and my menu's still not fixed. Eventually, I'll go through my mod set, reread them from their point of origin. I'll disable them, then re-enable them. There's a couple more maps. This one's for the railroad. So, you know, in order of importance, Minutemen, Sanctuary, Railroad, and the United States flag is not even welcome. We're in the predicament we're in because of them and the Chinese. Shh, don't talk to him. Do not talk to him. Okay, there's a quest I gotta do. I just wanted to come here and give a quick... Oh, I'll show you one more thing. I did a little building while I was downloading all those YouTube videos. I didn't want to get too involved. I just wanted to get a little start. Just start to plan a couple footprints. There's another mob scene back here in the corner. Ghouls like to show up back there. So these turrets are for catching anything that comes into the settlement from this end. Then I'll tell you about that other thing. I bumped into this woman, she says, you want to buy a cow. I say, is it yours? What do you mean? Of course it's mine. Well, I don't know if I do believe her or not, so I buy it. 100 caps. Next thing you know, I'm somewhere down there in the settlement, and the ground starts to rumble and shake. I'm like, son of a bitch, that's a death claw. I go over to my Brahmin feed tray. There's the Brahmin ripped to shreds. I'm like, oh, great. I buy a Brahmin, so you send the Deathclaw to come and kill it. Like, okay, well, I'm not buying that Deathclaw anymore. Or I'm not buying that Brahmin anymore. Yeah, see, these aren't 24/7 positions anymore. She's here 24/7. But I guess... Marcy Long, you'll find her wandering around with a... There she is. She's wandering around with a minigun. Sheffield, just wandering around, and the husband, June, Marcy's husband, he's assigned to this other one. But instead of connecting this to the grid, I just left these connected. I emptied this building to beds because I didn't need them. It's just something, I don't know. I'll do something here. It's a big building. I'm sick of rectangular buildings. Sick of rectangular buildings. So, I got a dead Brahmin. It sucks. Okay, well, I got another Brahmin. Like, oh boy, this Brahmin's got to look at his dead friend. Let's hope that that thing...
I've heard of another settlement.
No, you didn't.
I'll mark it on your map.
Don't do it. See, I got used to running by that guy. I didn't think he was going to grab me like that. So, I wait a day or two and the dead Brahmin is still laying there. It will not unspawn. So, you know, I'm immersed. I'm like, let me get rid of this dead Brahmin. I pick it up. I drag it all the way out to here. I know this path because I brought 3 hooves, a couple eyes, a head, and some other body parts out here. And I dumped it here. It's still here. And there's another Brahmin I found dead on my property as well. There's 2 of them here. One's torn to pieces, this one. This was a whole one. I'm like, what the hell? Oh, no, I think this other Brahmin I found dead over here. I don't know, but they won't unspawn. Oh my god, yeah it is. The Nuka world in those worms. Oh, yeah. I remember those. Ugh, that's fun. I'm echoing. See? Let's see. I wonder. I noticed it happens on long streams. It takes a long time, and then it finally happens. And I wonder if I just need to shut off my OBS and then turn it back on. I don't like shutting off my OBS. There's just something intrinsically wrong feeling about shutting off a stream. But yeah, I really want to fix that. So I've watched my tapes, and the sound imperfection that you're hearing now will go away whenever it feels like it. It'll just go away. And then at some other point, it'll return. Maybe if I just did 2 or 4 hour streams, I would avoid that. Does it show up? It does. It does. It shows up in my YouTube VODs, and it shows up in my Twitch VODs. So my scariest thought is, okay, I forget what it's called, ALC 120, It's an onboard it's like a sound card, although I forget the terminology. It's soldered into the motherboard. It's hardwired into the motherboard. It's supposed to be the top tier. I made sure that all that stuff was top tier when I was building this. I'm like, if that is fighting with OBS, because I'm telling OBS, use my mic as the sound source. And the sound goes through OBS, but yeah, it gets complicated. My headset is also plugged into my mic. So it's also, my mic is an input and it's an output. So is my mic being picked up twice? Didn't you say you have two? Yes. I've got 3 displays going on right now, sometimes 4. Well, I've thought of that. One display is on a totally different computer. The computers are not connected, and I've got the sound turned off. And I've got my Twitch sound turned off. I've learned to do that. Turn all the sounds off. Because I've had it.
Got a dangerous look about you.
I've had it pick
Hope
up
you
an
ain't it for
echo.
me.
But I got my game display that I can listen to the game on. And I've got another display that I watch my OBS on. I don't think there's any sound. Yeah, there's no sound coming from that. But, you know, the thing is, it's intermittent. That's the rub. Turn off one, which is maybe chat. Well, chat's not part of the loop. Chat's on my display that I watch.
Out here, you gotta take things one day at a time.
I'm watching my Twitch broadcast. I'm watching Twitch. And that's where I pop out my chat. And there's no sound, because I don't want my mic to pick any of that up. Oh, so that is not going to... No. No. But see, the tell, it's intermittent. Intermittent. And it only happens after many... Well, let's see, I've been streaming for 8 hours. Actually, 9 hours. I wasn't recording for the first hour. So, it doesn't happen for many hours. So, you know, spatial sound. I believe my sound is set to stereo. Just simple stereo. Not 2.1, not 7.1. But again, even if it was set to spatial, why intermittent? And that's says there's something broken. There's something that's overheating. Change that and see what happens. Let's see. see if I can find it. I'm going to put on the break screen because once I click off the game, I'm going to lose the game. I think I'm going to lose the game. Yeah. You don't want to watch my empty desktop. I'll just put this up. But I see my mic is working, so you can hear me talking. Oh, I suppose what I could do... Oops. I could do this. I'll move my OBS over to my screen, and then I can capture it. I'm not going to change the size because there's something else that's funny that goes on over at that computer, or that display. It's a TV. Its size is wrong. Well, you know what? A bad wire is the first thing a sound man will suspect. I don't know if you ever heard me say, if I said it in front of you, I used to work at a rock venue, and the sound guys, I knew everybody that worked in the building, and conversations, there's a top tier band playing, and all of a sudden there's a sound problem. Well, these sound guys start running and fetching. They start replacing wires. And that's usually the cause. Not always. It's usually the cause. So, yeah, you can see that. File, settings, audio. Where was that spatial stuff? I'm not gonna. It's not here. Maybe it's under output. What's this audio ducking? I didn't understand that, and I never bothered looking it up. I've just always had audio ducking disabled. Audio output. I've made sure that I don't use multiple tracks. And now it won't even let me. Interesting, it won't let me change. Oh, that's streaming. Push it. That must be what you meant. Try that. See if that had any effect. Audio ducking. There was a 5-second delay between what my game does and what you see on Twitch. If I jump up in the air and land, I count 1,000, 2,000, 3. There's a 5-second delay. I watch my stream and I see a 5-second delay. That's it. But there was some goofiness one day. Well, this is a totally different subject, but it could be related. I'm watching one of my long videos, and I realize the voice doesn't match the gameplay. And I start to count, and I counted a 30-second delay. Now here's the rub. So I click back to much earlier in the video, and then I click back to where I was. The sound resynchronized, and it now matched the action. So it seemed like there's a very small delay. Speed. There's a very small difference in speed. And you don't notice it early on. But as you get many hours, because you know these are 10 and 20 hour videos. Oh, what about your Discord? Discord's off. Discord is not running. That's me turning it on. Is it open? Well, it is now, but now it's closed. And I suppose we can verify that. Discord is not running. Not a lot running, as you can see. Output. I've been all through this, by the way. This isn't even enabled, this buffer. I tried to enable it until at 1 second, just in case it was enabling itself. But, you know, I don't. And this stuff is all set to 320. Huh. I can't. It won't let me, is it your computer settings? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, I usually keep this at 50. Yeah. Well, it's intermittent. Here's turning on spatial sound. So, how to turn on spatial sound? Oh, I kind of don't want to turn on spatial sound by the sounds of it. Fixing sound problems. I'm not interested in getting into all this stuff now. Bad time. I can research into it at another time. Interesting that I can't even move the slide bar. Something else, another project for me to deal with. But if it does not happen, but only when streaming, it has to be streaming software. That makes a lot of sense on the face of it. Let's see. An hour and 4. Is it really time to... Let me do a save. It's time to break the recording already.